Hello, everybody. This broadcast will probably be very, very quick because yesterday I talked for about 2 hours and I pretty much put, if you watched it, probably put you to sleep as I was falling asleep. So today I wanted to quickly touch in and share a quick experience, and then to share my one point of topic I wanted to discuss. It's very, very important. Um, Today I had a awesome experience, and it what I think her yes. So what I believe that these experiences came from was directly related to yesterday. I mean, really opening up these portals of, manifestation and connecting to that higher purpose and alignment. And this is actually connected to the point that I wanted to talk about today, which is fuel. Um, the fuel behind your launch of your business, but really your financial freedom, your fulfilling financial freedom. And as I talked about this yesterday, how the journey that I'm now on is a 370-day journey of $340,556 in my bank by next Halloween in 2021. That's the intention. Um, of this. That's the intention, the core, the foundational intention behind the daily videos. So the daily videos are connected to that overarching intention, and within that, there can be many other intentions. So, like today, I wanted to talk about fuel. So it's a meta topic. I'm talking about exactly what I am doing, um, and to share the importance of that, and the magic behind not having, so it's like right now there are no viewers. One magical person might show up. I found out that my one subscriber is Nicole. Nicole Quad. She's my old landlord in Brooklyn. She's actually, if you look at my last videos from a year ago, she was my landlord at that place. She was also my roommate. Nicole is totally awesome and so supportive of me and all of her friends. She's so very loving. So Nicole, if you're watching this, because you're the only one who would get notified of it, thank you for everything that you've done and for supporting me. So going back to my experience today, I ended up interviewing Deborah Larson and Christoph Melchizedek. Deborah Larson is a client of Aria, who I currently work for / am transitioning out of, and she's helped people reach six-figure businesses in a very short time. Her main thing is living in purpose and creating abundance. So it's very, very related to exactly what I'm doing now, and I think I'm gonna connect with her and see if um, see if there's any opportunities there, because we're definitely connected in some way or form beyond just the interview and the what we have going on with the RIA, which is the Lemurian tribe, which I'll talk about at a different time. But basically, what happened was originally Aria was going to do an interview with Deborah, and then what happened was Aria didn't want to, because it would have been too much for her, because she's going to be hosting this event coming up, and for her to like participate live would be a lot. Um, and so she's like, why don't you go ahead and do it with Deborah? I'm like, okay. And I get on a call with Deborah, and we talk about what we're going to do. And then after our call, Deborah had a meditation or something. Something came through, and she reached out to Aria, and she was just like, "Hey, could you and I do the interview?" And I don't know if it's a specific reason. She may have actually, like, I don't know. I don't know the exact reason. Basically, Aria was like, "Hey," to me. Um, so Deborah doesn't. Well, Deborah wants to do the interview with me now. So we're gonna do a recording together. Does that work for you? I was just like, sure. And then today, while they were doing the interview, which I had no idea about, I was working on some other stuff for the event. Maria calls and she's just like, hey, things aren't flowing um, at all with the interview. So it just didn't feel right for her. And she's like, what do you think of you interviewing her? And I was just like, I had no shirt on. I didn't have a shirt on a second ago. I had to put this hoodie on to look decent for you guys. Um, and I was just like, yeah, sure. Let me go put some clothes on, and you want me to do it now, yeah? And she was like, yeah. She's trying to connect us. I was like, okay. So I dropped everything, then put some clothes on, and wrote down a whole page of questions in like a minute. And then we finally got the right lighting, so it wasn't in this room, and I got better internet connection, so it wasn't so pixelated. And then we did an interview for about an hour, and it was awesome. It was so cool. It was like, I'm apparently really good at interviewing. And then after that, um, we had a call with Christoph, and Christoph is one of the most advanced, humble, and wise and intelligent individuals within consciousness in the field of all esoterics that I've ever come across. He's mentored and given guidance to multi-millionaires, and Aria was like, hey, well, what do you think? Well, actually, I kind of brought up the potential of just like, do you want me to like prepare some questions just in case we do an interview style? Because we didn't know what Christoph was going to give. He didn't reach out too much on what he wanted to do for this little morning event, and he's just so busy. And recently got married, which is amazing. Um, and so she was just like, yeah, sure. And if it turns into interview style, why don't you go ahead and do that? I was just like, okay, I'm interviewing this guy who, you can tell he knows so much just by like any answer to any question I had. it just, it just, it just went above and beyond. Um, and so when we got on my line, because we didn't know if I was going to do the interview, um, we said, so here's our plan, da, 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 da. What do you want to do? We can do an interview. And he was like, yeah, why don't we do that? You just ask me, and we'll go from there. And that's what I did. And it could have gone on for hours, but I interviewed him. And I was a little mind, like there were some certain variables at the second call, but it was totally in flow. And like I was just talking to this dude who is absolutely incredible, really. And at the end, he ended up saying that he would join us for like a guest presentation with our membership, which will be coming out like later after the event. It was like a continuation of the event. Um, and it was so cool. Like all of a sudden, I'm now interviewing people and getting them to express all of this stuff. And one thing I've been thinking about doing is doing a podcast. Lots of synchronicities have been coming up for podcasting for me. And I was thinking about interview style because like I've just I don't know. When I pick topics, like right now, I only had one topic, which is fuel. The title of the thing is fuel. The description is fuel. My notes, my one bullet point is just fuel. And I can talk about it for a long time. And so that's kind of what happens in the interview. I just like know the questions to ask. And then they just open up and they can talk forever, and it's totally cool. So, and the reason why I bring this up is because I immediately last night opened up, so created a video that no one saw except one random person who had no idea how they even got into my stream for that second. Um, and so I'm talking to no one, but really I'm creating and giving. So I'm actually giving. It's available. It's publicly available. People can come on right now, and the action is stemming from a beingness of giving. And when I'm stepping into that purpose, when I'm listening to myself, I'm actually doing the thing that I know I should be doing. Stuff opens up, like I said yesterday. And what happened was I interviewed this person who guides multimillionaires and this other person who's doing financial abundance, which is directed to life purpose, which is exactly what I'm talking about now. And it all happened within like a day. And then then I just had like an amazing time with my roommates who are pretty tired. Um, and I had a cleansing foot bath with the toxins come out of your feet. And I had like just total flow. Some gut health stuff like biome, basically microbiome recovery, which has always been there, but like for some reason it was just like brought up like, oh hey, you should do this. And then one of my rooms also, so Lotus provided me the bath, the microbiome stuff, and the her iPod to listen to a um, a programming thing to listen to as you fall asleep for I forget the thing it's called, but it's like stepping into your game. It's stepping into your game, and the just like I think the whole point is just like really coming from a place of knowing your game, which is really just your purpose, right? And so that was always available. And she was very tired today. So like she felt drained and a ton of stuff going on. Everyone felt drained and tired today. I had a headache for the first time in a long time. Um, but still, like the point I'm getting across is once I stepped into some stuff that I know is aligned, things open up. Even though no one is watching this now, people will for sure. Um, but the the essence of just going after something, even when no one shows up, and continuously doing that, there's so much more magic going on behind the scenes than you could really possibly imagine. Like, I don't know what's actually going on, but it's so clear that when you have that intention and you're aligned and you move forward, then things open up for you. And so going back to the fuel, the reason why I said that I needed to do this basically every single day is so that I can constantly realign myself intentionally and continuously open up those doors, keep the door open. Um, because once I stop, then the gates shut. And looking back a year ago, it was proof. Once I started it, I then immediately got a job basically for so long. Like things flowed. I didn't get the job immediately. It took a couple months, but the trickle effect happened, and then like I was focused on that and not what got me there in the first place, which was alignment, which was creating like I am now with no one watching except Nicole, um, and and maybe my mom and cousin. So it doesn't matter how many people are watching. at all. No one has to watch it. But if it's an action that like is aligned, then go for it. And chances are, I have a suspicion that creating in this form, like having intention, like I do with my pumpkin journey, which is the 340 K by next Halloween, 2021. Having the intention be consistently connected to a daily action of sharing the journey, mix in with whatever comes through, might be universally um, near universally aligned if you're looking to like create and help change people's lives, because what you're not, this isn't your body of work. What I'm doing right now isn't the body of work. This is the proof and journey of the work. Like if I, going back, if I had done this throughout my time with Solana, a lot would have changed because I would have kept opening the real door. I would have been really aligned because I would have been doing stuff for me. I stopped doing that. So I just keep checking to see if my roommates can hear me because I don't want to keep them up. I think I'm fine, but whatever. And so things will devolve. So look at the video quality. Right now it's not very good. I'm powered by StreamYard, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. What matters is that I do it and I keep doing it, and I already have changed to a different streaming thing. And so picking your fuel, picking that daily thing that can change, really tap into your own intuition on what the fuel might be for you. But I do encourage you to see if publicly sharing like every single day connected to your intention. And the interview that I had with Christoph, he said a very good point. Goal setting is very limited because what you're doing is you're saying, I want this result, especially if it's like a long end goal, right? I want this result, and you're closing off the infinite possibilities of potentiality of like what's actually aligned with you. Like I'm saying, I'm putting the intention towards $240,556 or $560 linked in with each of these posts, but I'm not. Well, now I'm not having the goal. Like I'm not saying, all right, the goal is that by this time, so I'm gonna sit down and do that. I'm just having. I know that's connected to the intention of achieving that or greater, right? And that brings you to the present moment of what you're doing and connects you to your purpose and alignment, as long as the intention is aligned with you. So mine is very synchronistically supported. So for me, that's you know, um, it is aligned. And if it doesn't, if I become more aligned with something else, then I'll shift it slightly. But I don't. I think that's a great intention to have, because of what that would open up, right? And that's why for me it's the right thing. It's a stretch. It's a big stretch for me. Um, 11 times. I'm expanding my wealth container 11 times in almost a year. So that's a big stretch. But I've been at this wealth container for all this time, and I know how much changes when I start doing this work, the fuel. That if I were to continue doing fuel for 370 days in a row, I can't imagine the possibilities and potential of what actually unfolds there. Um, so yeah, so these videos are the fuel for my intentions realization, and I encourage you to tap into to seeing the possibility and whether or not that's aligned with you. Because I think it might be if you're a creator, if you want to make change, and if you want to, um, and if you can see the benefit of not only just sharing, like you don't even have to have an intention. The intention is just like a really good side thing. I think sharing your journey is very important because it shows people, especially if you're like a higher end person, your humanness and all your flaws and all that stuff, and it helps people connect to or connect outside of the perfectionism or like not being good enough and all of this other stuff, Um, so yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. And is there anything else that I could say? No, I think that's pretty much it. So thank you for tuning in with me, and I hope you have a wonderful day or evening or afternoon, and especially dream. If you're about to go to bed, remember your dream. Hopefully, you're